think it's 25 something. And the race is starting. This is a Metroidvania. It starts with a cutscene. You cannot cut through it, like you just have to match buttons. You can roll, you can jump, you can double jump, you can melee attack, you can like combo with melee, and also shoot arrows. Those arrows also have different charges that do different things. As you can see on Laurie's stream, she's been rolling a lot, and she just did a movement called roll jump, which if you press both the roll and the jump button at the same frame, it needs to be on the exact same frame, we will have the roll invincibility and speed and the jump's height, which makes it super useful during this run, but also pretty hard. This is the first area, the growth. There's not a lot going on right now. Our players are playing on easy. On easy mode, you have max health from the beginning, at least on the patch you're playing on, and you start with 2 items that help you progress. One of them makes your iframes last a lot, and the other one hagens your health over time, so it's like pretty safe this first area. But on higher difficulties, especially on Insane, there are more enemies, you only have 1 health, and imps are completely random. Sometimes they help you, sometimes they completely screw your life. It's quite something. Also, you could see both of players, they got a chest. We need to get 3 chests in the first area to buy an item, which is the crystal seed. That item allows us to do more damage temporarily, and that is great for the run since we fight lots of bosses and stuff. Laurie's getting the second chest. Very nice. This room Laurie's now is like, sometimes RNG is really bad and the imp just doesn't let you get the cycle on that platform. Luckily it did well. LusTher just got the second chest too. And Laurie is approaching the first boss of this game. So there's 2 things to be aware of. The first one is that every boss, if you defeat them without taking damage, you're gonna receive an item, and most of them are extremely powerful. She's doing a safe strategy that is more like, it's more similar to the casual fight, but you can see she was hitting arrows on her tail. Her tail has a crit box that there is even a quick kill that if you're like hit on the exact same frame, you can hit all 3 arrows at the same time and kill her instantly. This first item is a Diospero, and that item lets you get poison through your arrows. That is pretty good because poison does lots of damage, but it's also pretty scary because you can poison yourself. Whenever you shoot an arrow and that arrow hits something, there will be a poison cloud, and you can poison yourself with that cloud. Just keep that in mind. Like during this run, we usually, like, as on this first part, like you can see Laurie still didn't equip that, just so she won't poison herself by mistake. And LusTher just finished the fight too, very nicely done for both of them. Laurie is approaching the second fight, and this fight can be super annoying, and it's the fight against Mocha. This small being of Doom, he can do 3 different attacks and he can go and move around. It's very RNG dependent and he can like completely screw you over. That giant ball attack creates a ball of curse, and if you get cursed you cannot use items, and that includes your passive item, which is the Diospero. As you can see, Laurie did that just well. He's going for the second part, which is Lubella. Lubella is not a hard boss, but it's one that you have to react fast to her stuff. And she can dive. When Lubella dives, you just gotta like contemplate life for 12 seconds because you cannot hit her. It's like, it's the bad RNG thing. You want to finish this run as soon as possible, and she just like, I'm not into it right now. It's possible for her to dive twice in each fight, as she just did, and Laurie didn't poison Lobella. If she did poison there, Lobella would have died while off screen because poison keeps doing tick damage. And LusTher took damage on the fight. Lobella's item is super important. It's probably one of the most important items in this game, which is the Backman patch. When you use it, you kind of make lots of little squares ring from the sky. It's kind of hard to describe what it does, but each of those squares do a bunch of damage, and you also use that for a non-combat area to skip through some stuff later, so it's really important. Let's see if LusTher can do the fight now. And Laurie's getting into a cutscene. So Moku's attacks, like there's this curse ball, there's that one that he summons lots of small, this one, the Toho balls I like to call, which you can actually melee through those balls to make them disappear, and then you can approach and fight Mocha. There's like two main strategies for this fight. There is the safe, each one in your corner shooting arrows and stuff, and there is the melee strategy, which is faster but riskier. Let's go. Oh no, Laurie just fell into the spikes. This area is one of the worst. You have spikes all around. It's like, it's super scary. Like, in this game, spikes insta-kill you every single time. It doesn't matter your current health, which makes it the biggest enemy for the any percent category on easy, pretty much. And there are just lots and lots of spikes. This area is also, I would say it's the hardest, at least in any difficulty that is not like insane, because not only there are spikes everywhere, there are also bats which can spawn in random heights and they can totally like screw with you, and then you get hit and like lose your like momentum when fall down. Like it's kind of scary. And LusTher going to the same cutscene. So, before going directly to the boss, you're actually gonna get a key first, which is also covered by a whole bunch of spikes. So it's like really scary. Also, this is the underwater segment of this game, which is somewhat short, and I am really thankful for that because nobody likes water segments. So, story-wise, we're gonna need 4 quests. Basically, Kaho is a priestess that won an audience with the queen because her village was attacked by a curse. Not attacked, but like affected? I don't know. English is hard, I'm sorry. But like, she wants to talk to the queen and like warn her about this, but little did she know, Queen is the one behind all this, and there's like kind of a magic wall thingy, barrier, blocking the way, so she needs to collect 4 crests before managing to break that wall and go to the castle. Also, there was a jellyfish on Laurie's screen. That jellyfish means we're gonna have a PB. It's like one of the things about Momo, silly, speedrun lore, like we do lots of silly jokes like that. It's a pretty good jellyfish, I would say. And this screen is pretty scary. Laurie was on. Like, if you mess with the cycle, you're gonna fall down all the way and like lose a bunch of time. That bad can be super scary. Okay. I didn't check, but there was a bell that could save the game. It's like a safety bell. It's usually pretty good. I wouldn't risk not taking that on like a race setting. But yeah, let's see how they do. Laurie is reaching the boss, and you have to poison that enemy right there. If you don't poison her, she's gonna like stay alive during the fight, and since you don't want to take damage, it gets even harder during the boss. But yeah, this is Frida. There are 2 different strategies for her. The first one is this strategy Laurie's doing is way safer. You just like duck in a corner and she can never hit you. It's slower by a bunch of time, but it's pretty safe. Also, Frida has a lot of different attacks. She can spawn dogs, she can do a small laser, she can do a big laser, and she can also melee, but like, it's kinda hard to get the melee attack when you do the safe strategy, and she can also teleport, but that usually happens when you're close to her. Like, Frida's patterns are basically on a whole bunch of conditionals. You can't really like control her, it's pretty hard. And Laurie just finished the fight, very nicely done. The item from Frida is the Sparse Thread, and the Sparse Thread does a small AoE damage around Cal, and it is pretty good and important for this game. It's like one of the best damage items, pretty much. So here Laurie's gonna take a shortcut. There's this wall on the right, and that enemy can throw bombs. If he throws a bomb on that wall, you can break it. There's no other way to break, so you just like bait him into breaking that for you, and that saves us a whole bunch of time. And LusTher just got, they both also got the crest that LusTher just got, and that crest not only is one of the 4 you need to progress through the story, but also allows you to charge arrows faster. Until now, the best way to deal damage with arrows is like spamming on the first level, just like pa 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 pa. But after this crest, the best way is spamming half charge, which charges super fast, so it's good. It's like not a whole lot more of damage, but it's more damage in general. It's more optimized. And now Laurie is approaching like a refight against Lubella, but this time it's slightly harder. Also, what she did is that she used the crystal seed and she hit the bell, so she recharged the item to use again in case Lubella dives. Also, as you can see in this small arena, there are like that platform is falling down and there's lots of spikes. You need to be careful there to not die. Like, and Lubella dive. This is like such bad luck. Oh my god. Also, this fight is the only fight in the game that we don't really care about getting hit or not, because Lubella 2 item is the Thorn Branch, which heals you when you kill something. Like, you don't really want that. It's kind of awful. And this is the best part of the game. When you kill Lubella, she like curses you, and you become a cat, which is actually a blessing. Like, Lubella is kind of dumb, you know. So she thought that was a curse, and we just roll with it. Cat form is actually way faster than human form in movement, and as you can see, Laurie will do some roll jumps. If you roll jump as a cat, it's the fastest form of movement in this game, but you will like lose speed at the end of the roll animation because cat just stops for a reason. So what we do is that we can sell the ending of the roll jump animation by doing a melee, as you can see Laurie doing right now. And this is pretty fast. So like, the only thing cat is like, cat cannot climb ladders, and cat cannot use items, except the item that allows you to transform between cat and human form. So unless you have to climb a ladder or fight someone, you'll be in cat form. It's like optimal. And it is a pretty cool elevator, huh? So right now what both players are gonna do is that they're gonna see a certain screen, because also they're gonna talk to Paramount. It's this guy's name. He's a pretty cool guy. He goes insane, but it's like, it's his way to show love, affection, and care. Laurie's gonna visit a certain screen in this game. Like, every time you see a screen, it gets like saved. And this screen has a bell that is very important later. And now that Laurie saw the bell, she's gonna go and get another crest, and it's the warp crest. The warp press allows you to teleport between key bells in this game. So seeing that this bell right now makes it so you can cut through a whole bunch of backtracking, since we are backtracking right now to get that one. And you need cat farm to get the warp fragment, since it's kinda in a hole only cats can fit. But cats are just better in everything. And Laurie beat something, I guess. This is the Moonlight, like he's trying his best, you know, but sometimes even your best is not enough. That knife, like, he's a joke, even casually, like, you can kill it with 2 sparse threads. If you're playing another category, usually use 2 backman patches. Even with only melee attacks, you can, like, it doesn't take long. It does do damage though, if the fight goes long enough. But yeah, it's like, for the speedrun, it's kind of whatever, to be honest. The good thing about him, like, he's not that bad though, because he doesn't get hit by arrows because he's wearing an armor. So there's that. He's not like completely bad. He came prepared, but not prepared enough, I guess. Yeah, they're both going to the warp crest, and let's see. Oh, Laurie got the first cycle on that screen. That's pretty good. And there you go. Also, I cannot explain lore-wise why there are only spirits in this area. I apologize. It's pretty weird, but it's like kind of a different dimension inside the grove. I don't know. But as you can see now, Laurie can teleport, and she's going to that screen where she visited before to go to the next area. But before that, we have the ladder boss. Yeah, there you go, ladder boss. Very nice to fight. There is another category of this game that you have to actually climb that ladder back, and it's pretty slow. And that's why you call that ladder a ladder boss, but yeah. Oh no, Laurie fell into the spikes. Dang. Where was the last time she saved? Did she get the warp crest? No. Okay. So now, LusTher is ahead. So let's switch audio. And let's go. Simmer Chambers, which is the area Laurie visit for a moment there, is one of the scariest areas in the game. In any percent, you don't really visit lots of different rooms, but like in other categories, you can see the magic and sorrow and sadness of this area. Like, it can be very challenging. Also, the way Laurie died there is because in that other category we play, like, Laurie is a main AVIB runner, not any percent, and you usually want to go to the platform on the left, and in any percent you go directly to the platform on the right, so that kind of messed up stuff. And LusTher is reaching the second boss fight, which is Arsonist. Arsonist is one of the hardest bosses in this game. She's very tanky, and there's also Calf helping you there. Like, very nice. Calf is a pretty good knight. Like, she's very tanky, and sometimes she can, like, the RNG hunt patterns is quite something, and she can kind of evade stuff. So for this fight, she can teleport. She can do kind of a melee attack with a whip made of bandages. She can also throw fire at you and throw fireballs. And what you want to do for this fight, you want to finish it as close to the right as possible, because that's where you want to go after it. And you also want Kef to be as close to you as possible when the fight ends, because after this fight, Kef wants to talk to you. And then there will be, like, during this dialogue, she's gonna ask you if you want to listen to the whole thing, and if you want to go fast, you're gonna say no, which is what LusTher did, which means Kef called them a roach. And I totally agree. You should not say no to Kef. Screw speed, you know? You should be gentle with your girlfriend. And yeah, LusTher just got the air dash. So now the fastest movement in this game is roll jumping as cat, then you air dash. You can also cancel the roll jump and then air dash, as you can see LusTher doing right now. It's a pretty useful skill. And I have 3 of the 4 classes. Right now, LusTher is going to the best screen of this game, which is the cat room. And we have to talk to Cutler, which is the cat lady, to get a certain key. Also, this is a pretty good cat RNG, and both cats meow at the same time, such synchrony. Oh god, this is amazing. Every time you enter this screen, there's like a different cat RNG. There are always 7 cats, and their colors and their actions are randomized. So that's pretty cool. And now, LusTher is going for the next boss fight, which is casually is one of the best fights because it's kind of a duo and it's pretty hard, and you have to like. As you can see, there are lots of small Dark Souls references, and this is like the closest thing to a Dark Souls fight, unless I can think of. It's pretty cool, but the speedrun strategy usually ends this fight quite fast. So let's see how LusTher goes with this fight. The soundtrack is also amazing. Yeah, as you can see, this fight is not very impressive in the speedrun, but like casually it's pretty hard, I can guarantee you. And he got the last quest, which allows them to get an extra charge. Like the full charge is usually shoots 3 arrows, like each of them in a different direction, and the last, like the super charge as we call, shoots 3 or 5, I don't recall the number, in a straight line, which is way better. Also, the item from Arsonist, which I didn't say which one was the Pocket Eye Sensory, which increases your damage overall because it adds fire properties to everything you do. That includes arrows, melee attacks, and backman patches, those things that fall from the sky. And that's why Fennel just dies instantly, as you just saw on Laurie's screen too. And this is Pinakoteka, and it's a word that not a lot of people can say because it's not very used in English, but in Portuguese it's spelled just like that. In Portuguese, my native language, people usually call that lots of different stuff like Royal Pina Colada, Royal Pine Cone City, Royal Pterodactylus, Pythagoras Theorem, just to name a few. Also, there is Ryugawa Pateki Okurao, is that how Elzam used to call it. That's actually not the name of the place in Japanese, but but it's fun. I don't know. And LusTher is doing a detour right now to get a certain item. With that item, he can unlock an upgrade that you need to reach the true ending of this game. If you beat this game without the true ending, the game won't consider itself beaten, which means you didn't beat the game, which means you didn't finish your run, and that's why you gotta take that, even on 90%. This area is pretty hard. It's like one of the hardest ones to learn because you gotta change a lot between your cat and human movement. Also, there's lots of enemies and everything can be quite deadly. Since this is on easy, it's slightly better, but there's still lots of spike and stuff you wanna avoid. And LusTher is reaching the next boss fight, which is... it can be pretty hard. You can be quite punished by RNG here. This is the Lupiar and Magnolia fight. As you can see, fight didn't begin and LusTher cast the first backman. You do this so backman's cast while the fight starts, so you can start by stunning Lupiar, and it's a quite neat strategy, IMO. And this is the second part. It's Magnolia. You just like stay safe and shoot her and everything will be fine. Lupiar, like, it seemed really easy because she just died, but sometimes Lupiar can do the most infamous trick in history of video games, which is rolling, just like you can do. And then she can dodge your attacks and melee you, and it's pretty sad. The item from this fight is the heavy arrows, and they basically increase your arrow damage by a lot. And if you like combine that with Pocket Eye Sensory and other stuff, you basically get like an insane amount of DPS. Also, the item from Fennel, I'm sorry, they're going like very fast and there's lots to cover. The item from Fennel was the Missive, Tainted Missive, and that item allows you to get 100% damage boost and everything. but you lose one fourth of your max HP when you use that item. And right now, what LusTher is gonna do is that he's gonna like use Beckman to hit a switch that is not on screen right now. And while there's the animation to lock the passage he just did, he's gonna teleport back and go get the upgrade on Leaf to unlock the true ending. Also, that bell you can teleport to that one, so that's why we do this in this order. It's like a combination of small time saves that came really well together, to be honest. This upgrade is basically you bathe your leaf in hibisco tea, and I am not exactly sure why, but then you get stronger. Also, that was the item, the sealed winning. Oh my god, Laurie just saved it. Ooh, did you guys see that? It was amazing. Okay. But now you have the green melee attack, which is way better than your like red attack. Color is worse. It's kind of bad because green sucks, but it's pretty good because now you're stronger. And now you can go to the last stage of the game with the Cars Castle. You don't really see a whole bunch of things about this area since this is any percent, but it's like a pretty cool area with lots of different movement and stuff. When it's not like a straight line just like now. Oh yeah, Laurie also got her upgrade on the leaf, and they are both proceeding. I didn't check if both of them got the heavy arrows. Like, this is one item that runners usually, like, if they don't get it because Lupiar didn't behave, they just like ignore and go on without it because it only loses 15 seconds. Also, Kef was standing there on the ground. She's completely alive and fine. She's just resting, climbing this. Like, this is such a big castle, you know, getting there in heavy armor, it's really tiring. And LusTher is approaching a mini boss fight, which is the Clone Angel. The way this fight works is that Clone Angel will create clones of herself, and if you hit the wrong one, she will make it so fish rains from the sky. Don't ask me, but yeah, you can also quick kill her if you like do the best thing. Like, there you go. The way you do to know which one is the right one, you gotta check their heights. Usually the lower to the ground is the real one. This is not intended though. The way you usually should know which one was the real one was by waiting until her attack to see which one had a different color, but like we don't have time for that kind of stuff. And this elevator, you're just there, chilling. Laurie also just finished the Clone Angel fight. Oh, and we are approaching the Queen, which is the final boss. She has like 3 phases. Let's see how LusTher does that. There's quick kills for like the first and second phase that allows you to like also go really fast on the third one. This is not a quick kill, but let's see how it goes. The tricky thing about this fight is that you wanna use the missive on the first phase, but you want that to last until the end of the second, so this phase can go faster. LusTher didn't manage to do it, but he's still doing a whole bunch of damage to her. And like, if you don't kill her fast enough, there's this pattern with a whole bunch of Doritos that circle in the sky, and you just gotta wait for that. It's like, it's kinda annoying. Laurie also going for the fight. And LusTher is getting to the third phase. Oh, just a reminder, LusTher had a PB of 38 minutes today, so this means he's in an insane pace right now. This is like completely insane. It's almost a 10 minutes PB. And as you could see, Laurie did the second phase way faster because she was able to manage her missive better. But let's go! Let's go, LusTher! GG! 29-14 is pretty good, almost a 10 minutes PB. This person was amazing. And Laurie's reaching the third phase right now. Also super well done. And there you go, GG to Laurie too. 29:34. Both of these times are not bad at all. Sub 30 is like one of the milestones for this game, and like it's pretty nice to see this. This was such a close race. Like, this was amazing, to be honest. Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, you say it was guaranteed, Liz, you know, from Cinder, but you were both like 20 seconds apart. Like, it was not a bad race at all. Like, if 20 seconds is not close, I don't know. Wait, which of them got an achievement? That's nice. That's really nice. And LusTher got a cat icon. Wow. So I'm super hyped because this series, I think this is gonna be the first one that we go like with 3 races, which is kind of nice to be honest. This is gonna be cool. This is gonna be pretty cool. Also, there was that like Lubella dived. I think it at least 3 times. 2 times on Lubella 1, and I think it was 1 on Lubella 2. Maybe she dived twice, but it wasn't. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah. So while runners get ready for the second fight, if you have any questions about this game or about the run, just ask and I'll be glad to answer. That's a quite cool purple screen. Yeah, Lubella's the boss that can completely like screw your run with RNGs. Like, if you count all the time you can lose, only Lubella 2 and 1, you can lose like 48 seconds on dives alone, which is sad. Like, it happens though, it happens. I mean, we had a word hacker not long ago that had a dive, but it was only one. But yeah, it's like RNG in this game can be pretty annoying at times, especially if you play on Insane. On Insane there are more enemies on screens and you only have 1 health. So like, the first area, the Grove, is pretty much the reset city because imps are completely random and they do whatever they want. It's so scary. Like, I have no idea how people manage to play this game on Insane and like do runs and stuff. I did it like once for the achievement, but like, imagine doing runs of that. But there are lots of people that do that and like, and I do enjoy watching them, so yeah, there's definitely something there. So let's see if we'll have a third race. Also, in case anyone is interested in learning this run, there are guides on speedrun.com page, and there's also a Discord where people are very supportive. We have lots of like, people is usually very helpful. They like to help new people a lot and get into the game. As you could see, LusTher like was very new and like they just got a pretty good time. So like, it's pretty nice. We have like lots of guides and stuff to help people get into this game. Also, we have a channel dedicated to pets pictures. So if you have a cat or another pet, but especially if you have a cat, go there and post pictures. We're very chill. Like, we're not big, but like, we're very chill and friendly. Runners are getting ready, and so are we. There's also this thing, which is like not really relevant, but I find it interesting, is that Laurie's playing on keyboard and LusTher is playing on controller. Not long ago, we used it to believe that controller, like it was actually impossible to achieve good times on controller. Like one of the top runners, Googler, like he always played on controller, and he started getting really good at this game and showed us we were all wrong. Both keyboard and controller are pretty good for this game, in case you're confused about it. LusTher's in the bathroom. Oh, okay. I'm gonna use this opportunity and drink some water. If you're watching this, remember to also drink water. That's like super important. You should take care of yourself. Okay, let's go. Imagine being hydrated. I know, right? That's important. That's like a very important thing people seem to underestimate. Also, not like completely related. Um, the devs from this game are releasing another game. Like it's not part of Momodora series, but it's kind of like it's the spiritual successor for Momodora, which is Minaria. You can check their page on Steam. The game sounds like it looks amazing. It's gonna be like really cool. So I completely recommend people to check that. And there you go. Race 2 is starting. LusTher didn't reset their timer. Okay. Okay, let's go. In case you just came in, this is Momodora. This is a Metroidvania. We start with a cutscene we cannot skip. You can do lots of different movements. You can roll, you can jump, you can double jump, you can melee, and you can shoot arrows. And you can also press the roll and the jump movement on the same frame. So that allows you to retain the iframes and jump high, everything at the same time. Pretty good. So timers will be slightly unsynced right now. But yeah, let's go. Movement in the first area, like it is slightly more tricky than it seems to be. There are quite a few rooms that have lots of spikes and stuff, and it gets scary. We're rematching real quick. Oh, okay. Match will be restarted since LusTher didn't reset, so it will be synced. Let's go. Also, there's no not sure if anyone was like questioning this or not, but there's no difference between the language you choose to play this game, so don't worry about it. Like you can play um, in your local language if you want. You can play in a different language if you want. Like why not? You know. As long as you can read item names or just remember where they are in your inventory, then it's all good. Which is also important because like when you equip something and unequip, that changes the order of your items. So you either need to really know what you're doing or you need to be able to read, which might or might not be something hard. And there you go, match you officially starting this time. Let's go. Good luck both runners. Let's pray for good RNG and no dives. Titanic was long ago, we don't need that anymore. So they're just progressing through the grove. The item, like, Laurie and LusTher just passed through a screen that there was an item there. That item can heal you for a bit, you don't usually take, because that not only makes menuing slower, but also we don't really use healing in this run. But yeah, it's a good item. Like if you're playing casually and stuff, and you can collect a whole bunch of those. We also have a category that is the category Laurie and I mainly play, which is AVIP, where we collect all vitality fragments, which are items that gives us more max HP, all ivory bugs, which are small bugs that have only 4 pixels as of size, and bosses, which includes an extra boss that we don't fight in any percent. It's a pretty cool category with lots of, like, the routes is very different, and you can see way more of the game, like way more screens. The way this game was made was in a way that if you just want to progress, there's not a whole bunch of like platforming challenges, but you get everything. You do go through some like very complicated situations. And we just heard a sound. What the heck was that? Or was that on my computer? I don't know. If you didn't hear a Windows notification, then don't bother about me. And Laurie is ahead by a small amount of time, so I'm gonna switch to her audio. I find it like that chest, you couldn't see because it was hidden. But I find it really funny that there's a chest hidden there, like under, like behind that wall. It's a secret. We shouldn't be showing you all the secrets of the grove. I think I said previously, but there's also a quick queue for this fight where you can just like one-shot Idea, and it's pretty fun. You only gain 15 seconds by doing that though, so that's like, it's not a must for this game. And there you go. LusTher got hit, but Laurie just finished the fight quite nicely. Did LusTher's stream broke or? What happened? I am confused. And this is the shop I didn't mention previously, but that is the shop where you get both the crystal seed and only the crystal seed. What the heck? Another thing about boss items is that I mentioned previously you cannot take a hit during this fight or like poison yourself or anything like that. But in this patch we are playing right now, which is 1.05b, if you heal by any means, you will also not get the item. And since we're playing on easy, we start with an item that heals us. So menu is slightly different, so we want to unequip the healing item during this fight. And Laurie got hit. Very unfortunate. Mocha is like a bully. You might not think that because of its size, but it's like hell. That fight is like the most annoying. Like, at least one of the most annoying in this game. Like, you can learn how to dodge its stuff, but even then, it's still like very annoying. Sometimes it's hard to predict what's gonna happen. Sometimes Mocha just goes through you too and like do its own thing. Like, you really can't predict what's going on. It seems like LusTher streams back. As you can see, that's the strategy Laurie just did. Was the strategy I was talking about. You can just like destroy those small Toho balls by meleeing them. I think for melee strategy, the worst attack Mocha can do is the Curse Ball. because like it's depending on your position and Mocha's position, it gets kind of hard to actually dodge. But for melee, it's usually the Toho balls. Also, there's the hidden item, which is the fairy. If you do up, up, down, down, left, right, which is half of Konami code, you will be able to summon this fairy. She is kind of an active item that you can use only once before recharging. You can recharge items by saving the game on bells, and Laurie got hit by Lubella. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Hmm. This game shit. Oh man. This game truly shits though. It's really sad sometimes. Like running this game is it's really fun when you're learning, and then it starts getting really hard. It can be frustrating at times. It's a cool game though. I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen right now though. LusTher is also not moving, and his stream is working, so yeah, I'm gonna yeah. Oh, let me change audio real quick. What the heck? So let's see if LusTher can do Lubella's fight. This is not a showcase, by the way. I think this is not a race anymore, but I might be wrong. Those two items, when equipped, were the items you start on easy. No, ooh, that was a pretty good dodge. This is also the bad thing about like the balls when you're playing Ranger Distress is that you won't be able to hit Mocha, so that kind of slows you down. Bam bam bam. That was really close to hitting LusTher, what the heck? We're fine though, getting to the second part. Let's go. Casting the fairy, pretty good. Using the crystal seed, pretty good. Oh, that was a good dodge. It's kinda risky staying like at the middle of the screen when she does stuff, because when you poison her, the poison cloud stays at the middle, so you can poison yourself by being there. But that was like a pretty good dodge. Pretty good. Very nice fight. I am really not sure what's going on, by the way. let's just cast this as this goes on. It's what you can do. Oh, what happened to LusTher is that their internet connection, they seed. I mean, it happens sometimes, like, races over the seas are usually very unstable because of that. So, just explaining the situation. So you're gonna be alright. Also, sorry, I didn't mute my microphone while I was typing. I'm really sorry about that. But let's go. We're gonna finish this run anyway, because it's a good thing to do. 。  . 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 .
。
This underwater part, like if you try to walk, you are really slow, but if you're rolling, then you keep your speed, which is also pretty nice. So you wanna roll as much as you can. Also, you can jump as much as you want, just like usual. On this cutscene, you meet Eri, which is the princess, of course. I think I'm not entirely sure. It's been a long time since I have played this for like lore and stuff. But yeah, like she kind of escaped from this place. Uh, hello, hey ho. Laura's screen full of text. I think she died 3 times. Like she took hit 3 times for Lubella, like against Lubella, and decided to do this. I am not sure what's gonna happen, to be honest. But yeah, right now, let's go. Underwater movement is quite tricky. Like, usually when you're going up hills like that, like if you're not underwater, you want to roll jump. But on this case, you want to just do normal jumps because jumping is slightly slow. Like, it's pretty weird. But underwater movement is like quite something. But it's pretty cool. And this screen, like, is very scary with all those spikes. If something wrong happens, it's sad. And it's like really far away from like the checkpoint. Also, there's a table right there because, like, why not? You're like underwater. Why not have a table underwater? It's just good, just a good table. I think Laurie may have her fate. I think so too, but I'm not sure. No, oh my god, that was unfortunate. Resetting this screen is really good because else you would have a chance of being hit by that enemy again. Like that witch, she throws you kind of like a staff spinning thingy, and it kind of works like a boomerang that it goes back to her. So yeah. And we are reaching Frida again. LusTher is really close to Frida. They might get it. Okay, they got back. Nice. Very well done. They were slightly too far to cast the backwind patches, so not every single patch hit, but it happens. It happens. And those are dogs. Since they are not cats, they are evil. This is the message of this game. Cats are good, dogs are bad and evil. During this attack, like Frida was charging a huge laser, and oh no, oh nice. And she can only like, the only way to prevent that laser is by doing a lot of damage to her to stagger in a short amount of time. Which means if you try to keep spamming arrows, you will only get hit and like get sad. Like that attack you cannot dodge. Every other single attack she does, you can just like crouch and you're fine. Which makes the like stay in the corner and spam arrows a very effective strategy for safety. Hitting this bell. This is an interesting choice. Maybe for safety, I didn't pay attention to their health, maybe it was low. I mean, it's always good to save on like, even if this is not like, it's kind of not a race anymore, I think? Question mark. This is too good to save, like if you wanna like, for showcases and stuff, I really think being safe is better than like dying and lose minutes. Like, this is one of the games that dying is really punishing because, like, depending on where you die, you might have to walk back through so many things. It's like, in the previous tournament we had on this game, depending on like, depending on the person, if they got hit during a boss fight, they would just try to roll with it without the item because it was often faster than like resetting, like reloading your save and doing all the platforming and the fight again. It is really like conditional, I would say. But yeah. And we are against Lubella again. The big bell saves all your save games at once. There is a big bell in this game, which you actually get money by hitting it. And it's a pretty cool bell. But it's like an ancient bell. It doesn't even save your game. Like, it's... like, come on. I'm not asking for money, I'm trying to save the game. And this is really risky, but I think they are fine. Yeah, they're fine. They're just fine. It's kinda too late to say this now, but Lubella has two mouths. One is on her throat. Whoops. Took too long to say that. Now you won't ever see that again, unless you play the game. So, go on Steam, on Switch, or anything and buy this game and play it out and have fun. Let's go. Oh, not saving there. With this low health, that's very brave. Also, you kinda need to save there, like, you only have one other opportunity to save the game, which is slightly slower, but you need to save before the next fight because it's the fight against mini-boss and you need like your sparse thread charges. Also, it's really scary doing this with this low amount of health. Let's see how this plays out though. Maybe it's worth it. Yeah, like, yeah, the way you use, like, usually use your, both your, every single one of your items, like both Beckman's, Crystal Seed, and Sparse Threads during Lubella too, so if you don't save between that and mini-boss fight, you won't be able to use anything. You can even use the fairy. That may have happened to some people in some runs, not me though, Kappa. Yeah. This is one thing that kind of confuses me though, because the bells you wanna hit, like you are, like you have to hit during any percent, are different bells from AVIB. So you kind of gotta learn about the key bells and stuff. Usually have more than one opportunity to hit a bell though. As there's this one. Okay, LusTher hit it there. Pretty good, pretty good. So now they have items and they can beat the meaty boss. But yeah, like, the bells you usually want to save, like, if you're playing on easy, you want to save before Idea, if your health is, like, not full. You want to save on the first bell after Lubella one, you want to save on the bell after Frida, on the bell before getting into the forest. The White Leaf Memorial Park, what the heck forest? There's not even a place called that in this game. But then you wanna hit that one bell as you like get cursing into your cat as soon as you wake. And then there's the bell before Arsonist and stuff. But like it's not too hard to remember, like if you're learning this game, like just save whenever you see a bell and it's not too out of the way, I guess. That also works. Also, where is there now? If you talk to her once more, she will be in this screen, no, in the next screen. And then you can like do some stuff to other people, do some side quests, and then she will give a very cool item that doesn't do anything at all. But yeah, it's pretty good. This place is also pretty nice aesthetically. I really don't know lore-wise why we become spirits in a different dimension, and why the crest is there to begin with. But it's a pretty cool place, I really like the vibe. And there's like a vitality fragment in this area too, which has a pretty cool strategy. It's one of the strategies that make me reset the most, but it's pretty cool to like execute and see. How did the crest get there? How did we get there? And why that thing is there, like, at all? The ambient music in this area sounds like a fun master thought. It does make sense. How did the universe come to exist? Yeah, we don't have this question. Like, we don't have answers to this question in this game. Is Momodora full of plot holes? No, just kidding. I refuse to talk bad things about this game, it's too precious. But there we are, Simber Chambers. We hit the bell and we're gonna fight arsonists once again. Also, I really like that, like, the way that Mimic is in this game. It's pretty different from the ones I usually see in games. So I'm familiar with this game, but I'm guessing the cat form is faster than human form. Yes, cat form is usually like, in every single way, cat form is faster. When you roll, at the end of the cat animation, you're gonna stop for a few moments, like for a few frames. So what you do is that you roll and jump at the same time, and then you cancel the end of the animation with a melee attack. So you keep your speed all the way through. Like, cat is faster. Yeah. And cat also has a smaller hitbox, which makes it better to like dodge enemies during the map and stuff. But you cannot use items or climb ladders. So yeah, whenever you're fighting someone or climbing a ladder, you wanna be human. You can fight as a cat though, that being said. It's just like worse because you cannot use items. And you cannot shoot arrows either. Cat also has lots of influence in this. And there we go, now we have Iron Dash. I know, right? I feel like they did that change so cats can't climb ladders because else cats will be too overpowered, just like in real life, but that's just my guess. It's basically like Ardane and the rest of the devs were making this and they were like, damn, if we make cat be able to use items and climb ladders, then people will never see human Caho again during their playthrough, and then they nerfed it. It's quite sad. But balance needs to be done. And this is a pretty cool cat RNG. We have like 4 white cats, 1 caramel cat, and 2 black cats. All the black cats and caramel cats are sleeping, and 3 of the 4 white cats were sleeping too, and the single one white cat was taking care of all the others. Pretty nice. I bet it's smart they didn't want to animate a cat climbing. I mean, how would you animate that, to be honest? It seems funky. it sounds funky, just like imagine a cat climbing something. This room is pretty scary too if you're not in cat form without Iron Dash. And there you go, this is another fight that is like... This fight is so good casually, but like... We don't have time for casual fights, we're just like gonna go through. Nope. Ooh, LusTher got hit. Basically the way you wanna do this fight is that you wanna charge your arrow, not too much, because else there will be poison clouds on the floor. Then you wanna get close and shoot a full combo on her, then use your 2 threats, and then you wanna like dash back and use 2 backman patches, and then you go back on her again. This is not the fastest way, but it's like a very consistent one. LusTher got hit there because he was too far back, so that allowed like Fennel to have more time to do her own things. And then she summoned Thunder from the sky and hit Caho. Sometimes we teleport to the wrong place. I was as confused as LusTher right there. I was like, wait, isn't this where we should be? Where should we be? What we're doing? I broke together with LusTher, to be honest. I was like, wait, they're not on the right place. But then I was like, are they not in the right place? And then I was questioning myself on that. But there you go, Pina Colada, Pinacotech. I didn't manage to read the rest of the name. in French. Pinakotek. Is that like how you pronounce in French? I bet it's not, so I will stop trying to. Maybe in the future I'll learn how to, and then I'll be able to say. But not today. Also, there's YV from Nuclear Throne on the background of that screen. I just wanted to know that this cat has moved more in the time frame it has been around than most cats do in their lifetime. I know, right? But you make justice. If you idle in cat farm, you actually can sleep, which is like a super cute animation. And there you go, we got the Sidwin back again. This screen is pretty scary. Like, even on easy, these skeletons do lots of damage. So yeah, this area is super scary when you're like starting out. And also there are spikes. Just as a small curiosity, a Pinacoteca is a place just like a museum, like it's like an old gallery. It's not an used gallery, used word nowadays, as you usually say museum, but like, yeah. Yahoo just wanted to live her life as a cat, and can you like blame her? If I had this power, I would also live as a cat, to be honest. And there we go, Lupia, let's hope for good RNG. Pretty good. Pretty good. Sometimes, like most of the time, you only need to use one of the threads. Depending on her roles, you have to use two. So, if you use two, it's kind of fortunate because then you won't be able to use right now. Oh no, they got hit. No! As I mentioned before, if you get hit during this fight, it's not too bad because heavy arrowless queen, which is the only fight you have to do that requires arrows, are not too bad. Like, there's backup strategies for that, but if you don't know the backup, then it gets really hard. But it's like, time-wise, if you cannot reset, it's worth to just like keep going instead of doing the whole thing again. There you go. But you'd be forecast, that's true. Magnolia usually like, we have setups to kill her like on one cycle, but if she doesn't die in one cycle, she can teleport, and when she teleports, there's like a small teleport that she just like goes away, and there's this other teleport that she also spawns two of those projectiles that doesn't make lots of sense lore-wise because she's an archer, but they can hurt you, and that's all that matters. Also, getting heavy arrows is like just cool by itself, because when you shoot an arrow on like anything, you can see the size of heavy arrows, and they're like huge. Like, what the heck? It's just like, it's the size of this cat cow right there. Like, that's the size of the heavy arrow. This is just like insane. Don't eat cats. I won't say anything about this. Especially because this is not even my stream. But like, let's keep going. Now we're getting on the detour to get the upgrade on our leaf so we can get a true ending. I always say that, but like, at some point, someone should like research and see if like the hibisco tea thingy is actually something like culturally known, or if it was created just for this game. LusTher forgot to equip everything. Okay, there we go. And this is the Sidwin. And the Sidwin opens the windmill passage, and then you can bathe your leaf on hibisco tea, and then you have stronger properties to banish evil spirits and lift curses. I don't know if this is culturally a thing or not. Like, seriously talking, this might be, like, maybe this is influenced by some, like, different culture or something. It would be very interesting to know. But while we don't know, we just go like, what? Hibisco tea is usually that tea sucks. It's like the worst tea. You know? With heavy arrows, you can become Hanzo, who shoots larks with the ball. Except, like, Kaho is kind of more useful than Hanzo because she can hit stuff, unlike Hanzo players. Well, no, just kidding. If you're a Hanzo player, please don't be mad at me. Be mad at yourself for— no, just kidding. I'm not gonna trash talk here. Let's go. that enemy that exploded, instead of like hitting Kaho, it hit the other enemy. That was funny. There you go. And then we are reaching the Clone Angel fight again. Also, that witch is red, and I think that's the only red witch in this entire game. She's not even like harder to beat or like special. It's just like another common enemy, except she's red instead of the usual color. That's kind of weird. And as you can see, I mean, I don't know if you saw that or not, but like, as it was visible, you could see Angel attack. Like when she attacks, she kind of glows, just like you use an item or something. And like the clone angels, they will do white, while the real angel will do on red. And that ball attack, Angel's attack will have like blue, like will kind of flash between blue and white, and the clones will only be white. So that's like the intended way to check which one is the real one or not. And this elevator is really tricky. It's especially on Insane. Like, besides that elevator, there's like a skeleton. And the way elevators work in this game is that if you, like, you cannot leave an elevator as soon as it starts moving until it stops moving. And then, like, if you press the button again, you have to go all the way back down. And then that skeleton just falls down from the sky. But that skeleton only spawns on Insane, which means you only have 1 health. So he will fall on you and you will die instantly. Like, if you're playing this on Insane and you like question yourself why there's a skeleton there, it's so you don't like accidentally press the button again and like regret all your life decisions. Some hibiscus is used as anti-solar agent. So this is basically are they saying this witch is really old? Or some shit? I can see this as like something different than that, right? Anti-solar, wait. I read that as anti-Asian. Am I? Like, I was thinking, whoa, she's really like old. I have no idea how to say Asian. English is really hard. That does make sense as an anti-solar though. Interesting, this is nice. I wonder like where it's used as that. And 33-38, really good. Solid run. Also, it's not fair to say it was a 33 because LusTher had internet problems and was waiting until it got back to like talk about it and like to know what to do. So I think this took actually about 28 minutes again, but I'm not really sure. So GG again for LusTher for finishing this run and winning the series against Laurie. Very well done. So, now that the race is over, I don't know if we have time, but we should have time for an interview. Let's see what's gonna happen if LusTher wants to do the thing or not. Oh, LusTher is here already. Let me call him. Hello, LusTher. GG on the series. How do you feel about it? Also, GG on your PB too.
Oh yeah, this was a big PB. This was a damn PB. I feel very surprised by this win, if I can say it, because the second game was pretty. I don't know what happened, to be honest.
You play like you were very consistent on the first game, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm consistent because that was literally my third run finished. So
It was pretty good. On
so
my third run, I think I had like a 40 or something. Like you did great.
thanks.
But yeah, like what do you think of this game? Like you're one of the newer players, and
Yeah.
you like were learning this game for the tournament, which I found like super amazing of you. Like thank you again for joining us, and like learning this game for this is like it's really cool.
Yeah,
So like
I wanted to learn this game since I think the challenge where you need to play a speed game for I don't know how many hours, but anyway. And in this at this moment I have not um, I was lacking some time, so I just picked up the game again for the tournament, and yeah, it was pretty fun, so I'm happy with
it's
it.
nice. And you got the first win, Joe. Like I remember you were saying on Discord there was no way you could win, but here you won.
Yeah, as you see, as people can see on the Discord, so I just posted my first one like maybe some 12 hours ago, where I get like a 30, 39, and I was like, okay, I can't win this because my opponent has I don't know 25 PB, I think, and I was so far of it. So,
I
but
was actually like quite surprised because like as I said, Larry has 25, and I saw you posted your I think it was 38, 39, and but like the race was so close all around. Like you won by 20 seconds, and it was like what the heck? Like
yeah,
a 10-minute PB.
I was pretty surprised with that. That was amazing.
Dang, GG again.
Thanks.
Do you have like anything you remember about any of the runs like you want to talk about? Like any surprising
Um,
thing?
I was pretty pissed off by the first Libera on the first game. Just Mocha did something very bad for me. He trapped me in the
I remember
corner.
that curse ball. Like Mocha is one of the bosses that like uh he's so wild. Like sometimes he just stay at one place. Sometimes he just wants to jump at you. It's like it's
Yeah,
such a hard reset spot. Like
yeah. This boss, if I can say it, is very random, I think. Yeah, yeah. That's all. I think that I remember from the races.
nice. And what are you thinking about this tournament so far? Like, are you watching other races? Like, are you
Uh,
like how are you?
During the week, I couldn't watch races because I had no time really, so I couldn't watch races. And if there is some other races this weekend, I may watch it. So yeah, for the moment, I didn't watch any race.
There will be a race in about half an hour between
Yeah,
Jado and Googler, and
yeah,
it's
and
gonna
I'm
be
out.
like another amazing race.
Yeah,
Googler is one of the players that have been improving so much lately. It's kind of insane. Um, he's the second seed for this tournament, and also got like the world record in Navy. Like he got that time down by so much. It's like it's really good. It's gonna be a fun race to watch. Jado is also a pretty good runner. I think his PB is around the 27, 28, and it's like pretty nice. It's gonna be a fun race.
okay, I may watch it.
Nice. Well, yeah, I think that's all for now. We'll have the race between Jado and Googler in half an hour on Speed Gaming 3. I just wanna thank you all again for watching this. Don't forget to follow the runners. And yeah, see you all on the next one.